Hello, humans of the internet, or whatever you are. Do we broadcast that far on our internet? Huh.
To aliens?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. What if we're not? What if some of us are not humans?
I'm I'm representationally not human.
There you go.
Been called Marvin the Martian so many times in my life, and I don't even bat an eyelash at it anymore.
Yeah, that's on your
accept
parents.
it. Just accept it. You're a Martian. It's fine. Well, welcome everyone. We are back to our series 2. We are playing the series with the characters that we all know and love, and we can talk about fancy hats. Michael might even talk about that. I don't know, because I love it. All right, we're going to get right into the game, because let's get back to playing. It's all you, sir.
All right. So, hello and welcome to the Dark Forest, the epic woodland fantasy that takes you on a wild journey of animal adventure, one clearing at a time. I'm Michael Panish. This hat from the Folsom, Sacramento area Renaissance Fair. So, a recent purchase, but it's good for our story because we are in episode 2 of Arc 2, episode entitled Hell and High Water. I'll do a real quick recap of the adventure so far. But first, after last week's one-shot, let's go ahead and meet our characters again and our players. So, tell me who you are, what your character is, and how they're feeling as they continue down this river of doom further into the Dark Forest. Well, we'll see how much doom is waiting for us around the river bend. Starting with Patrick.
Hello, I am Patrick. I am playing Kiva the Crow. I guess Captain Kiva the Crow. If we want to go super alliterative of the wise salmon, which is very fun. She's never been a captain before. It's like this is like her first big promotion, I guess. So she's super excited to be here, and super concerned because she likes explosives, and explosives don't make well with boats.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. Joining us as well, it is Nick.
Hello, everyone. I am Nick, and once again, I am playing Finn Cardew, the Rose Finch raconteur, player, bard, extraordinaire, as one would say. So he's having fun, going on adventures, meeting fans, playing special shows. Hopefully he'll be able to do more about that and come up with new stories.
Taking the show on tour. Also joining us, very happy to have her, of course, it is Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing Yana Winterborn, the rightful heir of the Winterborn throne, according to herself. Yes, we are on a boat. I'm feeling okay about it. I can swim. I have conquered a log, so I think that went well. I'm not currently piloting the boat. I have my Paw Patrol with me, which is to say 12 formerly conscripted wolf soldiers. I think everything's going to go swimmingly. Hopefully not swimmingly. Hopefully the boat will not be destroyed and we won't have to swim.
Let's hope so. And, of course, joining us, very happy to have him here, it is Marvin.
Hi, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing the raider, Seamus Opossum, who you can guess by his name is an opossum. His current vibe right now, he's eyeing that giant swan that the opposition has on their side. And I think that giant swan is eyeing Seamus. It's like, we're the two big dudes on both of our teams. We know this is going to be inevitable. So, bring it.
Oh, man. Possum versus swan. It's an age-old rivalry. And we're gonna see how it plays out today. Oh, Yana?
I do want to note very quickly that Kiva the Crow is a rabbit.
Yes. Yes, Kiva the Crow is a rabbit.
There's a crow mask, I think.
Right. The crow is a
Valid
costume.
point. Valid point.
All right. Let's do a kind of quick intro and recap, and then we'll get right into it. The rivers of the dark forest, such as the mighty Big Carp, offer the speediest ways through the woodland, and, in times of war like now, one of the most dangerous. A column of refugees fleeing the advancing Winterborn Dominion army has just found that out. After acquiring and repairing a boat, now named the Wise Salmon, they've sailed straight into a nest of river pirates, the fearsome waterfowl known as the Marsh Marauders. Thankfully, these unfortunates have 4 defenders, 4 unlikely heroes who are guiding them to safety. Finn Cardew, a songbird songster, building his ballads with each adventure. Battle-scarred Seamus Opossum, seeking a good purpose amongst the carnage. Destruction-crazed rabbit Kiva the Crow, always looking for a bigger boon. And the exiled heir to the Winterborn throne, Yana Winterborn, who wants her empire back. But even if the pirates are bested, the Wise Salmon will sail on, straight into more danger, come hell or high water. All right, so with that, we will get right into it. You guys are in the Cog, the Wise Salmon. You're in the middle of this river on both sides. The river is kind of giving way to marshland. Water is getting a little shallower there in the edges of the main vessel. Amongst the reeds coming in on these rafts, there's about 5 or so marsh marauders. We're talking loons. We're talking ducks, some grebes, geese, all of them brutal pirates. It's it's like DuckTales, but like the bad version, I guess. I don't know. Life is about to be like a hurricane for somebody here. In the middle of the river, there's the leader of them, the duck pirate Lequack, along with, as Marvin or Seamus Opossum mentioned, the muscle Shinderswan, this robber baron swan, this massive white-winged avian. All right, so all of them are closing in. You can see the waterfowl around, like getting torches, getting grappling hooks, getting ready to board, take over the ship. Shinderswan's going in for like an attacking dive. The Quack himself is kind of holding back a little bit. Let's see what you guys do. And if someone wants to jump in, or we can kind of go in order here.
Well, I think Kiva's saying that they're on approach, correct? They're not like actually beginning to grapple.
Yes. Also, so Kiva is piloting or manning the wheel of the Wise Salmon, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone's got to be on that boat keeping it going. They can do other stuff, sort of, but the boat's got to be their main thing. Let's have Kiva, I think, well, let's see. So what do you think Kiva's doing here, Patrick? Maybe we'll start with that and we'll go around.
Well, Kiva has the Flammarian Fire, which is ideal for, hitting a boat that hasn't, made contact yet with ours. To sort of take out a bunch of these guys all at once. But if no one's going to pilot the boat, that's going to be her job. She's going to yell at, if anybody wants to take control of the helm, please. If not, and she kind of gestures to her belt. Grab one of these. And then just, with all your might, throw it at somebody.
All right. Is anyone taking Kiva up on the offer, either to pilot the boat or to grab one of the vials of Flammarian Fire?
Yana commands one of the wolf mercenaries to get the vial from Kiva.
Okay. One of them snaps off a salute, rushes over, picks up the vial. Oh, you guys you did buy the ballista from them, so you do have this ballista in the middle of this boat too, which any of you guys could use as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so knowing that at least a vial of Flammarian Fire is out there before they board our vessel, I then am going to pilot the boat.
All right, cool.
Just because you'd probably be a better pilot than the wolf mercenaries.
Yeah, because my luck's pretty good.
Who is piloting
luck of
use
finesse.
by any chance?
Piloting,
Finesse
you can
or
use
luck.
either
Oh,
it's
finesse
both.
or luck.
Okay.
This is a
If
custom-
need be, Finn can do it as well. Can pilot.
All right.
So he's got a
Firing the
decent finesse.
ballista will require finesse. It's just a ranged attack.
Well, good to know.
All right. Kiva, how do we do?
I rolled a 9.
Okay, so you sail through trouble, but you must take.
I would like to spend. I would like to help.
Okay, sounds good.
So I think that's I mark an exhaustion, right?
Yes.
And because I don't think I've got the thing with you that. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I'll mark an exhaustion.
Okay, that brings it up to a 10.
Excellent.
So with that,
As she goes, steady on, Kiva.
Right, and just immediately just, like throws the wheel far harder than she intended to. But again, I roll with luck, so it works out in the end.
it works out in the end. I think Yana maybe like grabs an oar and like works the oar a little bit to kind of put the vessel back on the right course. But yeah, you guys sail away from the main boarding rafts of these waterfowl. I think at this point, Shinder Swan is going to try to board the vessel. Like he jumps up. He's a pretty big animal, and he like plops up onto the prow. LeQuack is still hanging back. And Shinder Swan is like, "You will not surrender, yes? Or you will not surrender yet? Foolish creatures, I shall teach you."
It's a bit bigger than I thought it would be. Unless, and his vocabulary is kind of less than I thought it would be as well. No offense, mate.
All right, Seamus, you going to attack Shinder Swan here?
Yeah. How about just you and me for now, eh? Because no, we are not surrendering. Yes.
Okay, so what are you doing to the swan?
I think Seamus is going to tackle him, actually. Get him off the boat.
Oh man, are we doing with the grapple?
Yeah, what is this move? So,
Or just a move you have as a raider?
I don't need a weapon skill to use it. Okay, I'm going to grapple him, yeah. And see if I can get him off the boat.
Whoa. All right, sounds good.
Alright, so roll with
Okay,
might.
go ahead and roll with might.
That's a 5. That's already good. That's another 5. That is great. Plus 3,
Oh,
13.
man. Okay, so on a 10 plus, you make one choice first before beginning to make simultaneous choices.
Okay.
So which one of those options do you pick as you go over the side, carrying the swan with you?
I try to wear him down. So he'll mark 1 exhaustion.
Sounds good. All right, 1 exhaustion is marked. Okay, so you like tackle Shinder Swan, you go off the edge of the boat, crash into the water, and you are just like rolling over. You got how exactly are you wrestling this swan?
Probably got my arm around his neck while I'm trying to reach for my axe.
Oh man, yeah, you were just like choking out his huge neck as his wings are thrashing back and forth.
And Seamus
Okay,
goes
so-
back to the boat. Don't worry about this, big fella. I got him.
The wise salmon is sailing ahead of the rest of the boarding party. LeQuack is still there. He's going to flutter a little bit closer. He's still kind of trying to stay out of sword range. And he throws like a grenade down on the deck. Let's check in with Yana and see what she's doing. Is this, classic round gunpowder bomb with the wick burning plops onto the deck?
Gotcha. So there's currently a gun or a bomb on the deck.
Yes.
Okay. Did it land very near to her?
Yeah, we can say so. Deck
All right,
size,
well-
but not too hard to get across.
Sure. She is going to attempt to grab it and whip it back.
Oh man. Okay.
I don't even know what to roll for that, but that's
I
what
think
she's
we're
going to do.
Go... I think I
Keep
might
in
be
mind, she's
try-
got acrobatics, she's got blindside.
Yeah, I like those. Let's go with blindside.
Okay. She shall attempt said roguish feat.
Yes. So you're gonna roll with finesse.
Oh, I wish I had banked that 12 that I rolled, but I just feel like that's super cheating.
No, yeah. Well, let's see what happens here.
Well, I still got a 10 because that's a 6 and a 2, and add 2 more, and that makes a 10.
Amazing. All right, so when I hit you, achieve your goal, which is
Yeah, she just runs over, grabs it, picks it up, and whips it back at LeQuack, and that should be timed in such a way that should explode about when it's getting to it.
oh, absolutely. It like plops into the water, or like it heads straight towards him with the fuse burning down, the fuse hitting the bomb right before it hits him, and LeQuack is just like, what madness is this? And then boom, he is just you blew that duck out of the water. He's flying through the air. He's going to take some damage from that. He lands a bit further back, splashed into the water. He's not out, but like that blast certainly hurt him. Okay, let's check in on Finn. By now,
Yes.
the other marauders are like close up on the heels. They're like getting they're trailing after the Y salmon. They're getting their hooks ready for a boarding action.
Okay. I would like to try and fire upon one of those ships with the ballista. He's like, all
Okay,
right,
sounds good.
let's have some fun with this. So,
Oh, by the way, Michael, would that count as me attacking somebody who has wronged me or my sworn vassals?
Yeah, I'd say so because he's
Oh,
like,
and I clear my exhaustion.
yeah, he's attacking your your friends, the refugees. So yes. Okay, Finn, you were
Yes.
gonna roll to target someone.
yes, I just did that, and target someone I believe is finesse.
Mhm.
So that is a 12.
Whoa, you guys are just like rolling 10s, 12s. Amazing. Okay,
Somehow. Yes.
so you're definitely doing injury.
Yes.
You could either strike him with another arrow, or you're not really keeping your position hidden.
No.
Or actually, I'm going to say this: they are going to board. You can fire another arrow at them, or leave the ballista and get away from them.
So, could I possibly aim? No, I can't aim at another ship, can I?
You can fire off a second shot from the ballista as they're coming aboard to like take out even more of them, or you can make a run for it.
You know what? Let's try and keep things even, and we'll just do another shot. Do a little bit more. I'll risk it. Risk it for the biscuit.
Okay, so I'll say like you fearlessly stay in that, in the ballista. You like pull down another huge arrow, work the crank, you fire it one more time. They're gonna take ballista's a hefty amount of damage, so like I'm gonna say a good like 2/5 of their number are just totally wiped out by these huge arrows just ripping through them, feathers flying. It's duck hunt. It's duck season right now.
So, aha! Take that, you foul!
Amazing. All right, Kiva, you're still on the wheel. The first of these boarding ducks is coming across the deck. What do you do?
So they're on the ship, right?
Yeah, their number is severely thinned by Finn's ballistas, but they are coming.
I don't want to use my explosives for them. But so are there at least any still boats on the sides that haven't reached us yet, or just are they all on board now?
Maybe just like one more coming out of the marsh. Yeah, one of these rafts.
Can I wing one of these? The Flammarian's fire at the one that's just beginning to approach out of the swamp.
Yeah, sounds good. Go ahead to roll to target someone to throw with this this alchemical flame at these guys.
Okay. You target someone is finesse.
Yeah, so be sure to mark one where. They got a total of 4, so you can do this 3 more times.
I think technically one of the wolves also has one of these. I don't know if that accounts for anything.
Yeah.
When he uses it, I'll count it as one of the wear. One of my usages of wear. Okay. Here's the hoping. It's only a 9.
Hey, that 9 still does it. Inflicts injury. You just can't do anything else.
Okay. So just I run over the deck. I see this. I see like, okay, there's somebody on board. I can't deal with them with this. But I saw out the corner of my eye one of these things. Just run over and just pull it off my belt, light it, and just huck it as far as I can.
Yeah, it smashes down to the raft. Flame just like courses out. This is kind of a Greek fire sort of thing. So it's like clinging to the feathers. The ducks dive overboard trying to get it off. It sort of works. But that raft is toast. The flame, just like this burning lump of wood floating their way through the water. I am going to say that, like, as some of these ducks are burning, one of them shoots off a crossbow, which is going to strike you and do 1 harm.
Okay.
So you are going to take some damage there.
I will mark exhaustion to jump in the way of that.
Oh, okay. So you're taking the hit, Yana, with armor?
I will take the 1 harm with my armor. Yes.
Okay. How does that look like?
Basically, Yana sees like the crossbow coming after she's just whipped this thing off, and she just jumps in between the two, and it just hits the chainmail.
Yeah.
And I get to ignore that first one, I believe. No, I don't. But I can repair it very quickly later.
Sounds good. Yeah. Good use of armor. It
Thanks,
crashes
Yana.
down. It clangs out against the metal. Okay,
Welcome.
Seamus.
I do also have to mark exhaustion again, though. That's okay. I get this back literally every time I attack somebody because she's a psychopath.
Okay, Seamus. You are still in the water battling Shinder Swan.
And we are still grappled.
Yeah, it's still the grapple battle continues. So go ahead and roll.
I think it's like the grapple still continues until.
Oh,
one of
right.
us-
Sorry. Make choices until someone disengages, falls unconscious, or dies.
And we make the choices simultaneously. So I make
Yes.
one, he makes one. If we decide to punch each other in the face, we both do it. But I'm gonna
Okay. So
continue.
which one are you going for?
Gonna continue choking him, trying to wear him down. He marks another exhaustion.
Okay. He is. I mean, choking him out is a good idea, but he's got like one long neck, so it is tricky. You can tell it's getting to him, but he has some energy left. He is actually going to inflict injury on you.
Okay.
He swings his wing back, crashes into you. In fact, I'm going to say this is going to be a 2 injury blow.
So he marks another exhaustion.
Oh, yeah. Is that, yeah, he's going for that one. He, like, bashes you with the back of his wing.
Is there any way
It's-
armor can take that hit?
What armor do you have?
Just chainmail.
Okay. It can absorb one of them, I think, but then the other
Okay.
one will go.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
it's your injury. But yeah, I can take it. He just pounds into you. Even with the armor, you can feel the blow, like, thudding into your side there.
Ow. But that's gonna cost you, isn't it? I know I'm wearing you down, you big son of a feathered swan lady.
He honks. Okay. LeQuack, after he got hoisted by his own petard, he's back. He flutters up from the water. He lands on the railing of the ship, and he is going to take out 2 Granados this time. He hucks the fuses. He's going to chuck one at, I think, Kiva. He's going to throw the other at Finn in the ballista. And then he's going to draw his scimitar. He uses, of course, cutlass, the classic, curved pirate blade. And he hops down and says, after a loud quack, "I will teach you to enter Lequack's waters. Yana, what are you doing?
What lesson do you propose, you feckless waterfowl? You'll see how a canine fights today. Get them! And, yeah, basically her and the wolves fucking charge. I mean...
Oh, man. All right.
There's 12 mercenary wolves on board.
That's true. I mean, there are some other pirates boarding, of course, but having them...
Oh, I understand. I'd imagine the wolves are attacking those pirates.
Yeah. Definitely the battle's going back and forth, too.
But she's going for a Lequack. She's going to have to guess that Kiva and Finn can handle the Granados, because there's only so much she can do on Granado duty, I think.
Yeah.
No,
and she's going to attack Lequack himself. We're doing an engage in melee.
Sounds good.
Okay,
All right.
let's see how this goes. All right, that's still a hit. I was really hoping it was going to be an awesome hit, but it wasn't. It's an 8.
Okay, that's still good.
I know, but if I can get up to a 12, I can really hurt him.
oh,
Okay, so on an 8, I get to do 1. So I think that I'm choosing to inflict serious harm.
Wow.
That is my choice.
Nice. Okay. Yes, you're doing the 2 harm to him?
I'm doing the 2 harm to him. I believe I take 1 harm in return unless I use my armor again.
Right. Yeah, you will take this. This will finish him, but in the process, yeah, you will take 1 harm.
Yep, she's going to just take that injury because she just
Okay.
kind of got in his face. And I mean, unfortunately, foxes don't have cool noises, so it's more like a yip than a
Yips are-
growl. But
Yips are cool.
Yeah.
We love yips here on Time and Tabletop.
she just like runs him through with frostbite, her
Yeah.
family's legacy sword.
Oh,
And
man.
she just like
all right.
wipes a little bit of blood off of her fur, which just kind of spreads around the red because she's got pretty white fur and it just really shows.
Oh, man. Yeah, just amazing contrast there as an artful splatter of red duck blood
Yeah.
kind of sprays across your muzzle and your pelt there.
These waters belong to the Dark Forest, not to you.
Oh, Lequack is just like, he didn't manage to get a nasty slash on you, but you just like you drove your blade through him,
Yeah.
and he just like pulls back, the sword sliding out of him, and plops down, wings out into the reddening river. Okay, next up, Finn. You got a bomb
Yep.
next to you. You got more pirates charging. What are you doing?
Oh, by the way, she
Good.
cleared exhaustion again.
Okay.
Well, I believe the most imminent danger is the bomb, so I'm just gonna try and get it off the boat. Doesn't really. I think Finn is a little bit too like panicked to really like think about which direction. He just wants to get it away from the boat.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll Trust Fate.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, let's play with bombs.
With my -1 in luck.
Oh boy.
Oh no, that's a 6.
I'm currently wrestling a giant swan in the water.
Is there
There's
some
no
way
way I
I
can
can
help you.
assist with this?
Yeah, Kiva, you can do helper. You can do the help.
Yeah, I'll mark exhaustion to give you that +1.
All right, these do a 7.
Woo!
Okay. All right, so you're gonna do it, but it will cost you. Let's see. Finn, I think you're gonna get this bomb off of the ship. But I think to do it, you have to like, you kind of you have to, you're trying to like run over to the end. It's very Batman. Someday you can't get rid of a bomb. And as you're doing it, the some of the pirates that are like you run through the melee between the ducks and the wolves, and you are going to get a slice on the side, so you're going to take 1 injury there.
I do have a set of unassuming padded armor that I've had for the entire time, so I'm going to mark 1 wear on that.
Okay. All right, that slices. So you take the damage to the armor, but you do get the bomb overboard. It blows up in the water. Okay, let's check in on Kiva.
Well, someone's got to paddle this damn thing. It's like I guess that I kind of see that things are being handled at the moment. No
Mhm.
bombs on board. There's fighting going on.
There is one more, which
Oh, there's one more.
There's
Yeah,
a bomb
shoot.
next to you.
Yeah, and can I return this to sender sort of thing?
yeah, you can chuck it at some of those pirates. I know you have blindside.
I do have blindside.
Ooh, okay, let's do that. So use attempt roguish feat, blindside.
Yes. Let me see. And I'm actually going to roll with luck because I have its distraction as a that's one of my moves. So allows me to roll instead of cunning, which is -1. Which was good because I rolled a 6 on the dice plus 2 for an 8.
An 8.
Yeah, could have gone real bad.
All right, you can mark exhaustion, or the boat is going to take a little bit of damage.
I'll mark exhaustion. I'm not damaging my boat, please.
The wise salmon is safe, but you do it's a real strain to get it off the deck and chuck it over the side in time.
Yeah. It's one of those things I throw it high, hope that because I know it's going to go off in the air and away from everything else. But of course, I'm still within that range.
Definitely, it goes up, explodes in the sky, huge thundercloud or fireball up in the heavens there. All right, Seamus, you and the swan are still grappling. Which one are you picking there?
Locked in mortal combat as everything
Mhm.
goes to fire around us. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'm still going to choke him out. So he marks another exhaustion.
Oh man.
I've committed to this now, so I got to do it.
Okay. I think this will leave him totally exhausted. He will want to disengage here. He is going to give you a fast blow to inflict injury there as he gets out. But he is trying to run away.
So he's giving me a fast blow and disengaging.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Sorry, I know we never done grappling.
Yeah. This is
much
good.
before.
Yeah. Minus the injury, I think he is just going to disengage.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wriggles away from you. He's a better swimmer than you are. So he does put some distance in the water, but he's going back to the safety of the marshes.
What? You don't want to continue our mortal combat? I thought you were so enthusiastic about it.
Shinder Swan's like, we will meet again, little possum. And then it is you who will be the one who is choked. All right, Yana. The pirates and the wolves are still fighting. Do you want to take control and lead them to victory?
Yeah, basically. I don't know what kind of role that is, if that's a charm or what. But what she does say is, no quarter, burn the rafts, kill them all.
Are you just standing back and letting them do the fighting? Or you,
Oh, she'll
charging
fight too.
yourself?
If you let her
that's what
fight on top of it, yeah, she'll run one of these bastards through.
Totally. Go for engage in melee, I think, and we'll see how you do there, and that will kind of with these wolves fighting with you.
Sure. Oh, I was really close to that freaking 12. It's a 10.
10 is still really good.
I mean, 10's still really good, but I wanted a 12.
I don't think there's any mechanical difference.
For me, there is. I have a move.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, on a 12 plus, I get to pick 4 options.
Nice.
So, number 1, I don't take any harm. Number 2, I inflict serious injury on whoever she just killed.
Totally.
Likely she just murdered them. And then obviously I'm impressing, dismaying and frightening my foe.
Yeah. So you just charge in, you get right into the center of this bloody battle. You're hoisting out your sword. The rest of the wolves are fighting with you. Just what did I say? Weapons they have halberds. Your standard medieval infantry weapon. And as you're cutting through them, you just hear them letting out the battle cry in their howling voices. Yana, Yana, Yana. and it is just duck. It is duck soup.
Yeah.
The ducks are cut down. The ones that survive freak out, pop off the edge of the vessel, and fly their way back to the marsh to safety.
Can I knock one of those guys out of their boats and commandeer it so I can get back?
Oh, sure. I mean, they're like fleeing their boats. There's little rafts. You can just like come out of the water and take it over if you want.
Yeah, good. No,
Okay. Or actually, give me just a straight might roll, and we'll see what happens with this one.
Okay.
If it's high, it will you flip it over on him.
That's a 6. And that's a 4. 13.
Oh wow. Yeah, you just
Using a
you
single
pop out.
die.
Whoa. You just pop out right below their raft, just flip it over, smash them aside, and then you take it over.
Mine now.
All right,
Other
so-
oars on this. How do you even drive this? Well, James just uses one of his axes to paddle back.
Incredible. Okay, so with that, the Marsh Marauders are defeated. Your cog sails on, and you can tell that kind of you're leaving the immediate battlefield area. There's not in the distance. You can see smoke rising from pot campfires or burning villages, perhaps, but nothing so much around here. And pretty soon, maybe an hour or so later in the day, you reach a fortification in the middle of the river. There are 2 hastily constructed towers with ballistas inside and archers inside looking down at you. And there's a camp that's spread out on both sides of the river, surrounded by a stockade. And you can tell right away, it's got red banners that are bearing the seal of the Grand Sable Empire. So I'll do kind of a real quick description as your boat slows down. They have kind of a chain that they have laid across the river, so you can't really go forward, especially not under the arrows of those ballista. Okay. The Imperial encampment stretches on both sides of the river, reaching amongst the trees. A newly made stockade offers some measure of defense. The tents of the Imperial levies, faded and patched, lay in disorderly circles around cook fires. Beasts in gambesons and hauberks gnaw their rations and warm their paws at the fire. At the center, great tents, palaces in cloth and canvas, loom tall, illuminated by lanterns in the shadows. Facing you just across the dock stand the elite of the Grand Sable Empire, the Crimson Hussars, Wolverines clad in scarlet capes and striped brigandines, fearsome axes and spiked maces clutched in their paws, snarling as their ranks part to admit their leader, the notorious Miklos the Red. Look at this. His voice is an eternal growl. It isn't every day the enemy sails into our ranks. So your vessel has come to a stop. You've got these Crimson Hussars facing off with you. What are you guys doing?
I'm not certain of what you mean by the enemies, but sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious why they call us the enemies. But beyond, I'm sure you have something you'd like to say.
Okay. Yeah. He listens, and then Yana.
Okay. So really quickly, I think I could have repaired my Mail of the Tundra by now because it only takes a couple seconds after a battle. It says.
Yeah, it's not too long. It's only an hour, so no exhaustion comes back. But you can do it one armor repair if you have that ability.
Your enemies. Are you currently at war with the Dark Forest, sir?
He's like, Do many creatures in the Dark Forest have white fur, such as you?
Refugees, yes. Maybe not aboard this ship, but yes, there are those who have long since left behind a certain area.
So says the white-furred rabbit.
You're asking.
And rightful owner of the ship, by the way.
If you're asking who I am, sir, yes, I do belong to the Winterborn Dominion originally. They seek my head, which seems to me makes me your natural ally, not your enemy.
Ooh.
She's not wrong. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. I mean, we are but travelers. We actually have some refugees of your doted enemy, and who knows, perhaps these here refugees could be of use to your empire, or you can let us go and we can be on our way and be out of your your fur.
Aye, we're made up of people from all walks of life here. Empire, Dominion, people the force cut between your two wars. Well, the war between you two.
Honestly, these denizens here would probably not wish to be among either camp, and we would just like to be on our way.
He's like, so you're shirkers then? Malingerers?
I don't know
No,
about
sir.
shirkers. We are just sort of passers-by. We have no quarrel with either side.
If I may speak,
Of course.
I'm not a shirker. I wish to regain the Winterborn domain for myself. But currently they are beating down the door of the Grand Sable Empire through you. I have every interest of fighting them. I would like your assistance in doing so.
Okay. You can tell this guy, like, he's dead set on some kind of violence. Maybe someone give me a persuade for this guy. This is Miklos the Red.
I mean, I'm willing to do it. There are two of us that have +3 charm.
Either
It
way.
depends
let's
on
have-
which thing is swaying him. Is the Yana, I want to kill everybody thing, or is the Finn, we just want to get through here thing?
I think
Wow.
Yana has a better chance, but I think both of
That's
them,
fine.
like, it's not going to be too great of a result.
Okay.
I have a move for this, but it could cause a fight.
I have a 14.
There we go.
Okay.
Look at the blood upon my fur, sir. This is from killing various waterfowl not even an hour ago. I enjoy violence, surely as much as a wolverine does.
Yeah, so you can tell, like, he's not totally convinced that you're on his side, but he at least knows you're not the enemy and he's intrigued. He kind of, like, leans down his boar and gives you a sniff, and he's like, oh, I think you'll be a tasty one, Winterborn or not. And then, as the tensions are kind of rising here, there's a bunch of, like, trumpets. Suddenly he, like, sits up. You see a bunch of, like, Imperial Guard who are ermines. They have, like, this, the brilliant white fur. These muscelids, I think is the scientific term. They're kind of like, weasels or ferrets.
Mm-hmm.
And they are like, they like hurry into position. Some of them are, blowing these trumpets. And a weasel, very like ornate, fancy doublet, like double set of sashes and like red and black. He is kind of like a, puffy hat, big like red plume in the middle of it, elaborate gold-hilted basket hilt sword. This very thin weasel comes like walking over, and he's like, Miklos, are you being rude to our guests? Miklos is like, no, your match, or no, my lord. He takes this big like sweeping bow. I am Prince Rudolf von Wessel, nephew to the Emperor himself, and 'tis my honor to welcome you to the glorious battle against the Winterborn hordes. Oh, I see some of you might have white fur yourselves. Are you of the Winterborn?
I am the only Winterborn. I wish
Oh.
to regain my kingdom. I wish for you to join me in battle.
Oh, splendid! Well-
I'm merely from the Winterborn Dominion.
But you're here to fight, aren't you?
Well, we can come to an arrangement. I'm not really much of a fighter myself, but...
Oh, nonsense! Look at those wings. Oh, you could swing a sword with those.
Oh, no, I'm not much of a sword swinger. I'm more of a player of tunes, actually. I can perhaps raise some morale among your fine troops.
Perfect. You know, I say that no glorious charge is complete without some brilliant music in the background. And he looks
Of
over
course.
at Seamus Opossum. Ooh, what about this specimen of a possum? What do you do, sir?
I fight for the denizens of the forest. I don't really care for you or the Dominion, but I see a better life for everyone if Yana gets back on the throne.
Excellent. This dude's name is Prince Rudolph. Prince Rudolph von Vessel. That spelled the W.
So
He says, well, you shall join our worthy cause and join us upon the field of glory on the morrow. But tonight we feast. So please come in, rest your people, relax, perhaps eat some amenities that my camp can provide. And tonight, join me in my tent for a grand feast and a talk of strategy for the coming war. I'll give you a little preview. It's going to be glorious.
You do us a great honor, Prince Rudolph von Vessel.
Thank you. You can tell Miklos is just like hating this, but he has to take it because, he's the Emperor's nephew.
The
No.
hospitality of the Grand Sable Empire was honestly not talked up enough. And let me tell you, it was talked up.
Such wonderful to hear. Well, please enjoy the camp. I believe it's about an hour or so until the sun sets, and you can find me in the tent. And we shall feast and discuss our glorious victories to come.
Of course. And in the meantime, you wouldn't mind if I put on a performance now, would you? Perhaps regale your fine soldiers with the tale of our adventures, and as well as many other songs.
I suppose it couldn't hurt, but maybe you could throw in a song or two about my great exploits. I haven't had
I'm
any,
sure
of
I've
course,
heard
but-
a few tales of you, my lord.
Oh, I mean, we tell this ballad of when I was young and I ate the biggest apple on the tree. That's a good adventure. One of my conquests.
Oh, yes.
There was
so
another
good.
time I stole a toy moth from my little brother's room. That an excellent victory. That would make
It
a
does
great
sound like
ballad.
quite the adventure, my lord.
It was.
I'm sure I can come up with a wonderful tune.
Thank you. I hope you do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy the camp, and I shall see you in an hour hence for the feast.
Very good. We look forward to it, Prince Rudolph.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Just my lord will suffice. Thank you. But you all should, my lord, don't forget that, please.
I am royalty myself.
Oh, very good, my lady.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah. So he kind of heads away. Some more trumpets kind of follow him as he goes out, and the Ermine guards follow him.
As soon as the guy turned to the group, like, aren't we bound for Katzenberg?
We are, but I think we might need to placate the good prince for a time.
You're not
And
fighting in this
Slip
war.
away.
I don't feel good about that.
No, of course not. Perhaps my performance can be a distraction of some sorts, and who knows? Maybe my songs can raise the spirits of them and make us less. What's the word? Troubled by the empire.
So Aisling
Regardless,
O'Mara,
I do need to have my injuries tended, and I'm sure some of my men do as well. And
Yes, of course.
their hospitality, I'm sure, includes medics.
Yeah.
Sure it does.
That swan got me what good.
yes, the
None
tent
of
does
them
have, or the
anything.
tent. Sorry, Seamus, I cut you off there.
It's alright. Just nursing me once. Who am I even talking to?
You know the group.
To us, we're all sort of gathered around waiting, on the.
Yeah,
the
the
helm.
camp. The camp does have amenities you can use. You tell me what you're looking for, what you aim to do. We'll sort of go around. I will say, Aisling O'Mara and Sergeant Gaza do kind of approach you guys. Aisling being the pirate who you ex-pirate who you hired to help guide you through the rivers. She says, a word of advice. I think leave it in broad daylight, especially with those guards up there. Those arrows could be troublesome. They could put some holes through our sails and then board us if we attempt to flee. Best we wait until nightfall.
Of course.
Nice.
I
In the
think it would
meantime,
be bad form that when night falls to try and, I don't know, do some work on those ballista. Make sure they don't really fire properly.
I don't know about that.
that
Are we
might-
out of earshot of the Sable
Right.
Empire?
Yes, Miklos has led his Hussars back into the camp too. So you guys are kind of
Listen.
alone on the docks.
This prince is not a man who's ever engaged in any sort of combat. He's a total buffoon. That means
So
a couple of
seems-
things. He's definitely going to overrate his ability to drink. He's going to overestimate his ability to fight. I'm sure that one of my wolf mercenaries here would be more than happy to let him think he's good at things such as arm wrestling. Yes?
could be-
Comrades, you can swallow your pride for this much, huh?
Sergeant Gaza's like, Yana, you've not steered us false yet, but I have to pretend to lose in arm wrestling to a little furry noodle like that.
He is
Only-
royalty of a opposing nation.
but
I
remember-
do like, beating a nobleman, noble beast. That does sound good. But you have to lose to him. You're saying?
Remember, the Winterborn are not merely strong. We are also more clever than our enemies. Let him have a great deal of confidence. Let him think himself a man for this evening. He will drink himself into a stupor. Not be a problem beyond that.
He's like, well, suppose you make a good point. I can swallow my pride for one evening.
And Seamus, sorry. Finn,
No,
you had
it's-
your hand up.
no, if you wanted to, I was just doing a mechanical thing.
Oh, I was just going to
yeah.
say that, Seamus, if you really are concerned about these towers, I gestures to my hip. We could sort of find a adhesive and stash these out of sight on the edge of these towers, and if we do inevitably need them, they're there.
Kinda like that. In case we need to move quickly.
I would remind
you need a
everybody
distraction.
that dereliction of this particular fight, which seems to be what we're going towards, is going to invoke the ire of the Sable Empire in the future.
As if it comes to a fight. We're just hypothesizing.
Not today, but in the future. People do not favor betrayal.
I would normally say, as long as they didn't trace it back to us, but we're the only newcomers, I would imagine, recently.
That's very true.
Hmm.
And who knows? Perhaps my performance beforehand will help with our prestige within the Empire, which is I'm trying to do part of my Tools of the Trade move is putting on a earnest public performance in a clearing. So and
Yeah,
possibly
let's go
flatter
around
him.
see what everybody does, and we'll start with Finn and
Yeah.
the tools of the trade.
Yes. So I'm going to roll with charm. Okay. That is a 9. So I don't get to mark prestige. I would if it was a 10 plus.
Okay,
But on a hit, I name a faction and I flatter an important member, and they come forward to offer me work.
All right. So which important? So are you going to go with the Grand Sable Empire? I mean, I think that's the one that makes sense here.
I mean, yeah, that's the only one that really makes sense, unless like there's somehow an important figure among the denizens.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say one of the Sable Empire comes over to give you
Sure.
kind of some advice here. So a badger who is a player, you might remember him from last time. He's wearing like an elaborate puffed and slashed, like sort of military uniform, like very colorful, like those huge puffy shoulder pads, the big pantaloons, humongous like double-handled broadsword on his back. This is he's an older badger. He's got like scars cut through his fur. So he walks over to you after this song. Also, Finn, what are you playing, by the way? What kind of tunes are we walking here?
Basically, he will put on sort of mostly sort of like raucous, uplifting sort of songs, and just for flavor, every once in a while he'll put in little tiny anecdotes that may have been mentioned by the prince. So.
Oh, awesome. I think the soldiers, these like either just pressed peasants or like professionals, kind of get that you're being a little tongue in cheek with these references to the prince, and they're like laughing along.
It's not the first time that I've been a little what's the word, satirical with the Empire.
Yeah, definitely. So they're laughing along, like the ale is sloshing as they're enjoying their rum ration for the day. And after you finish up your set, this scarred badger, Landschneck, comes over and like sits next to you, and is like, "Oh, well done. Tell me, you're new to this army?"
More of a passing bard, so to say.
That's what I like to hear. I am Colonel Stunk of the Stinking Companions, the mercenary company of Landschnecks.
I've heard a few tales about your company.
Yes, we've had a run of bad luck recently, and we took this job expecting it to be easy, but, well, that's why I'm here. Perhaps you can find a way to get us out of it.
That is a possibility. Not to. He'll sort of like look around to see if anyone's like listening in.
Yeah, everyone's too busy drinking and singing along.
So he'll sort of like in a hushed tone just be like, "We're actually trying to wiggle our way out of this sort of contract
good
ourselves." So.
Well, after dinner, we talk. Yes. Now, see if maybe we can help each other.
That does sound like we could be beneficial to each other.
Trust, yes. Oh wait, actually, he's not a badger. He's a skunk. I mean,
yes,
sorry, it's been a long day. Yeah, this guy's Colonel Stunk is a skunk. Well, come on.
Yes.
Yeah, all the stinking companions are skunks.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he says, yes, you will find it will do well for you to have smelly friends.
Yes, of course. We have quite the few companions of ours that are helping our cause, and I'm sure we can welcome a few more.
He gives you a big pat on the back and heads off, his big furry striped tail kind of bouncing around behind him.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So I'm sure no one else was in the conversation area, so I'll sort of go back to the group and relay that we have a possible new friend in Colonel Stonk and his company.
Okay, let's check in on. So you kind of pass that back. Meanwhile, before you met, or possibly after, if it makes more sense for story purposes, let's check in on. Maybe we'll go with Seamus. What is he doing?
Actually, I think Seamus would talk with the ex-pirate lady. What was her name?
Her name is Aisling O'Mara, or just O'Mara.
Aisling O'Mara. Let's just call her O'Mara.
Yeah, O'Mara.
And she was the one who was going to arm wrestle the prince and let him win, right?
I think that was actually one of Yana's wolves.
That's Sergeant Geza.
Sergeant Geza is going to do it. Okay.
Is it Geza or Geza?
I think it's Geza. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
I think it's
Hungarian-
Geza.
Yeah. Geza with an H, I think, is a Chechen name. Geza with an E is a Hungarian name, which is pronounced that way. So please, if I am incorrect, please correct me. Yeah, so if a viewer knows the right way to pronounce it.
He's like the biggest and toughest of the wolves, so it'll, make this guy feel cool.
Gotcha. So in that case, Geza is the one who's going to be doing the arm wrestling. Seamus is just going to talk to him for a bit and just say, look, I know Yana already had the talk with you about your pride and everything, but say you do this, you let the prince win, maybe you'll actually make things a little bit better for everyone else around here, eh? You get into his idea, oh, Prince, you sure did win, you're so strong, but maybe you could turn that strength to, improving things a little bit around the forest. Know what I mean?
He's like, you think I can convince the prince to change his manner?
A little bit, or at least get him to think a bit more, I don't know, like a prince. Instead of
Possibly.
the foolish little twat that he is right now.
Well, from my experience, most nobles, they think they are the blessed beasts come again. I don't know if there's much changing their minds.
I don't
Yana
know.
may be an exception. She's a good commander, I'll say that.
But we all know the exception is not the rule, is it?
Very true.
So-
I can say I'll mention it to him, but I don't know what effect those words will have.
Well, I actually know a thing or two that you might be able to say. Come here, no sec. I'll show you. I'm going to use plan of attack with Geza.
Okay.
Help him out a little bit. We're not actually going to attack the prince. We're just making
Okay.
a plan of attack for how we're going to do this. So that's a 3. And that's another 3. 9. So this is just going to have me hold 2.
Okay. Can be useful.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right.
I can lend a hand when the time comes.
Sounds good. So you're hatching this scheme with Geza.
Mhm.
All right. Let's check in. What is Yana doing?
Yana's trying to, number one, get her injury tended, and any of the wolves who have been injured get their injuries tended as well. Now, she has no money, but she's going to try to convince them that they should provide this service if we're going to be helping them fight tomorrow.
Right. Okay. So you find the camp surgeon. He is a Tazier, which is like a Madagascar, kind of, I think, related to a lemur, but very distinct. They're sort of like round, furry creatures with like humongous eyes. And this guy, very pliant primate fingers. This guy, he's like little. He's got these giant eyes. He's in an apron that's just has rust stains from all the bloody use it's been. His name is Dr. Tatzel. So you come over to his area of some wolves who took some nasty cuts. And he's like, oh, more patients to examine. Though they don't appear to be the usual individuals that I sew up after mishaps with sharp implements.
No, we have actually recently been in battle with some pirates who were planning to attack this fortress at some point, I'm sure. We have made an arrangement with your prince to help him fight tomorrow. However, injured soldiers, although a likelihood, it's not good to send them in pre-injured.
How true.
So, being as you are an army medic and we are currently members of your army, we were hoping to get our wounds tended.
All right. Jan, are you going to go with persuade for this guy or?
Yep,
Okay.
that's what she do. Also, at this point, she's probably kind of not lying. I mean, she really does want to fight. Like, you know how she is.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I got a +3 charm. I got an 8.
An 8. Okay.
I rolled a 5 on the dice, but I've got a +3 charm, so.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Which I think.
Okay, so he says, there's a problem. I just don't have enough medical supplies. You know how it is. But so I could either provide them medical attention or provide you the medical attention. But
Then you'll provide them the medical attention.
noble sentiment. Yes, it will be done.
Thank you.
Very good. And he sews them up. So you unfortunately are going to keep that injury for a bit longer. Yeah.
It's fine. She's not the kind of leader that if it's like between healing your troops and healing you, which do you pick? Oh, me. She's just not that. She's not that type of leader. She's trying to show these guys that.
Yeah, the Iron Fang wolves definitely like see that selflessness. Okay.
That she didn't even hesitate, you know.
Yeah, totally. All right, what is Kiva the Crow doing?
Well. Kiva has donned her mask.
Oh boy.
Kiva's gonna get into some shit.
Oh
No,
great. Okay.
What
I
Kiva
can't- what's
wants
gonna
to
happen?
do, Kiva wants to sort of sneak into the camp and get a good lay of the land for anything that she could use to cause a distraction, specifically setting tents on fire.
Whoa.
Or even, at the most extreme, blow up the magazine. Hopefully not that.
Always a
Hopefully
good
not that.
idea.
The whole point behind it being that she wants to be able to know what her options are if during the escape we need a distraction to get into the towers, lower the chains, and then sail away.
Absolutely. All right. Why don't you give me? Let's see. I think this could be like a read a tense situation thing. That makes. I think there's another move here. I think read a tense situation makes the most sense.
Oh, great, because that's totally something I'm very good at.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
I'm not. I have a -1. I rolled double sixes, so it's an 11.
Whoa. Fate is with you.
Yeah.
Finn's distraction move could definitely help too.
I also have a distraction move, but I need a environmental danger involved. So,
Right. All right. Well, you can ask 3 of those questions and discover some environmental dangers.
okay. So, what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. I think. Speaking of like, they do have like sort of a gunpowder magazine. They have some like this. We're still in kind of early gunpowder. They brought some cannons for like sieges and pitched battles, that kind of thing. So they do have like a lot of gunpowder barrels like stored up. So detonating those would create a huge distraction for sure. Big boom.
Okay. Beyond the magazine, what else would be vulnerable to me? The most vulnerable to me.
Okay, I think if you do want to torch a tent, you do discover there's like, like what's the word? Like a cart containing like glass containers of lantern oil.
Okay.
And like, a few of those dousing some of the tents and then a match or torch would go up real nice.
Got it. So there's...
Yeah, lantern oil.
And what would be my best way out once I've started this?
Right. I think it's definitely by the boat. That's where all your friends are too.
Well, this is like when we're making our move to escape from the situation, because I'm pretty sure none of us want to fight in this battle.
Yeah. I think
this is to help aid us if we need it.
Yeah. you discover a good sneaky route through like the backs of the tents you can use to easily get to the boat.
Got it. As soon as I have this information, I'm going to head back to the ship, doff my disguise, keep it packed with me, and then meet with the group.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so I think Finn shares a message about Colonel Stunk, and you arrive like just as the sun's going down, so it's like time to head over to the feast.
And I tell people, hey, if we do need a distraction, I have a plan.
Excellent.
It does involve fire,
Well, of course, it's you.
but
Okay, you're-
hopefully I'm not going to destroy too much. Just enough.
Am I there currently, Michael? Did we all meet back up, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we're on.
Just keeping a head on a swivel, making sure we have our options covered.
so? What's
That's
this
all it
about?
was.
A Colonel Stuck? Stunk?
Yes, Colonel Stunk.
Mm.
He's I believe his company is a group of skunks.
And how many of them are in the company?
Did he say how many were in the company?
He didn't. I don't think he mentioned it, but there's about like it's a mercenary company. So I'd say maybe 50, 50 to like 60 fighting skunks. And then you got their camp followers and assistants.
Good few. I believe about 50 or so.
How do we anticipate if they wish to leave? There's
They do. They
barely
did say
room on the boat for the mercenaries that we do have.
perhaps on our way out we could commandeer a ship. I'm sure
If the point of escaping is to try to keep a low profile to not piss off the Grand Sable Empire, stealing one of their ships will definitely piss them off.
well, we can say that what was in us and it was the skunks, if need be.
Hmm.
And
And there
that's
could
just
be-
pissing off the skunks.
But
There could be
Could
another
also-
way to help them too. That because Colonel Stunk hasn't exactly told you his full request just yet.
Yes.
Is he going to tell us before the dinner, or is that going to come after the dinner? That's just a
Or
question.
during.
I believe it was, I think he said after the our sort of like dinner with the prince. I think he said
So
he
to
would
have a
talk to us.
dinner with the prince, and then does Colonel Stunk have some sort of plan?
I believe he does. Yes.
I suppose this is another situation where I am not to fight my sworn enemies and to continue down the river.
Well, do we have any sworn enemies here? Is the question.
Besides the empire.
They shall be arriving tomorrow.
Oh, I mean, we can stick around for the battle, but I mean, we have these people that we need to take care of and get them to Katzenberg.
No, I understand that.
I'm saying we can. I'm just saying we also have other responsibilities too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
I think that myself and my mercenary should stay here.
Yeah, sure. about that.
There's no call for the rest of you to fight in this battle. You don't have to.
Okay, good. I don't want to.
I know.
But
very forward of you, Seamus.
what if you die?
If I die, then I die.
But
You're also needed on the throne of the Winterborn, Yana. Didn't you have high ideals of making things better for everyone?
including the wolf mercenaries.
Yes, and I've had their wounds tended before my own. I'm actually quite badly bleeding still, but
I mean, we have bandages. Nothing to heal you, but we can make sure
Yeah,
you
it's
can
not
stop the
probably not.
bleeding.
You're not like actively
okay. Well,
We
I
can
mean, she
stop you
hasn't been
bleeding.
stitched up in any way, so
right.
let's find out. I want to find out the numbers that we're going to be facing tomorrow. If it's an insurmountable number of Winterborn sweeping into this location, then we should not stick around, and I'll advocate with the prince that he has a tactical retreat, but
Or even find out, if these aren't the insurmountable numbers, find out if there's anybody that you particularly want to get rid of. I mean, if there's no one leading that army that you have a
if the
specific
Bloody
blood feud
Baron
with,
is amongst their number, then I do wish to kill him.
of course. But I'm just saying, figure out who your opponents are. Otherwise, you're going to be going into a needless battle.
The only reason that the battle is a needful thing for me is that I wish to make an alliance with this people, and the very first thing that I do is betray them. Does not. The only way that the situation works out well for me is if literally every one of them in here dies in the battle. Otherwise, tales of my betrayal will reach them. So that's what we are doing, is we are condemning several people to death if we do not help them.
Well,
Who's to
let's
say
see what
they
the
are to die if
situation
we
is,
help them
maybe.
also?
If we're taking
Okay.
their major force of skunks away, we are leaving
Yana,
people to die.
you do know that like these I mean the mercenary company is like pretty, it's like a, you know, it's okay, it's sort of a, it's not that small, but like it's not going to be a deciding factor in any battle to come. Like
Okay. Well, I don't know the numbers in it, Michael, so that's
right,
just
like
what I'm
you
working
will,
off of.
I would say just by like looking around, Yana would realize that like there's way more other troops than just these skunks. If the skunks are not there, it's not going to make too much of a difference.
Okay, see, because I thought that that's what we were doing, is we were like basically hamstringing. So I guess
Well-
reverse what she just said.
Right. Well, I mean, no, what she says makes sense, but like also maybe like see sort of what the Grand Sable plan is. I think.
Yeah.
I would simply like to hear out what their plan is and what sort of force we're looking at, because I do not wish to run away with my tail between my legs about what might just be a scouting expedition for all we know at this point.
Of course.
Yes. Sounds very reasonable.
Right. All right.
I'll
So
find out what they want.
Let's just figure out who we're
At the
dealing
very
with.
least.
Winterborn
So-
soldiers, as a general rule, are not trained for river fighting.
Oh,
So
those wolves did pretty well.
you guys head into the feast. You enter the largest tent where Prince Rudolph holds court. Somehow, a fully furnished dining room table stretches out under the lanterns, where succulent spiced river trout, mountains of pastries, boar sausage in silver dishes, and wheels of golden goat cheese wait for the paws of hungry guests. Welcome, welcome, my honored soldiers. Prince Rudolph has changed into a golden doublet for dinner, along with a breastplate of thin, elegantly decorated silver. Please join me in this meal, a feast fit for warriors. Allow me to present Colonel Stunk of the Sticking Companions. He motioned to that annoyed skunk Landschneck sitting across from him. These mercenaries shall join us in the field of glory on the morrow, as will you, and together we shall share in the joy of victory. And he motions to a pastry map of the battlefield. You see the cooks have created like this sort of bread field, and he has his army, like the Grand Sable Empire, and assorted cream puffs and like oysters, and some meaty fish dishes all set up. And then across from them, across this kind of like flat area, you can see this like huge amount of more blue colored snacks. So Rudolph's like, I have devised a cunning stratagem. Currently, the enemy is moving across Boar Meadow. They have already created fortifications and some entrenchments, perhaps, and marshaled their forces. They outnumber us, I would say, a good 3-1. The Winterborn have surprised all of us with the speed with which they travel through the dark forest. But here's my cunning plan. I shall take all of my forces, and he starts like pushing the pastries and kind of kicking them over towards the middle, and attack directly into the center of the Winterborn army, routing them at once. A glorious victory for all. And Colonel Stunk is like, my lord, do you not think this? Perhaps we should attempt a flank, or, I hear the Winterborn are not river fighters. Perhaps if we use the river to our advantage to go to further down to a more strategic position. And Prince Rudolph is like, oh, no, never. That would be a cowardly retreat. Instead, we shall strike the enemy here and rout them. And then he like grabs a bunch of the Winterborn treats and starts eating them and is like, Victory tastes sweet.
Prince, if I may.
Ah, yes, my guests who shall join us tomorrow in the battle.
Indeed,
Yana, you will join me in the van, perhaps.
perhaps. The Winterborn are trained fighters in these sorts of situations. Every Winterborn knows how to fight in a plane. It is
Mhm.
mostly what our Dominion consists of.
True.
We can fight in these conditions, even when it is snowing, blizzard. In an
Yes.
ideal
A
sort
little
of weather
nippy, but
like
no
this,
snow. Yes.
you are basically setting yourself up for. The Sable Empire, I believe, is a very forested place, is it not?
We have you have a good amount of forests, I would say.
Not tundras, not wastelands, not fields.
No, it's not particularly. It does get cold. It snows often enough, but not as cold as the Winterborn domain, I should say.
I will say that, as admirable as it is, your courage, you are walking directly into the situation that the Winterborn most like to fight in.
Which is precisely why they won't expect it. Now, it will be difficult, but I trust the martial spirit of our troops and for you to carry us through to victory.
Interesting. How many of his people are in this room right now?
I mean, he's got like his, courtiers and sycophants and stuff, so they're not really like disagreeing with him.
Trained soldiers, no.
No, not really. Except
Right.
for Colonel Stunk. You can see Miklos is kind of like, yeah, yes, man. You can see
So-
Miklos is kind of in the background, sort of glowering at everything, but he's not really listening.
So this is your plan, is to walk straight at the Winterborn.
Well, I would consider it more of a heroic charge, but yes.
It is an interesting stratagem, sir. Would you reconsider it all if I could show you a better way of attacking my countrymen?
He's like, well, no. I mean, after all, no offense, but you're some Winterborn fox. I'm the crown prince, or not the crown. I am a prince. I'm nephew to the emperor himself.
Quite.
I can't
she
I can't really reconsider my my efforts here.
She makes a gesture to like the various wolves underneath the table to sort of approach her.
Yeah, Sergeant Gaze is getting ready to arm wrestle to challenge him to an arm wrestling match.
You know, Prince, it does seem as though you are quite a strong and able gentleman.
That I am.
Would you care to engage in a feat of strength against my strongest commander to prove your virility?
Oh. Is there a language? How many ways can I say yes?
Very well. Now, traditionally, and I know that the Winterborn we have our particular customs. Traditionally, we do lash your hands together.
He's like, well, I suppose I can give it a try. Yana, what's the end game? What's kind of the big plan?
She's going to kill him.
She's gonna try and kill this guy.
Yep.
Hmm.
Do any of us pick up on this situation?
Please, can't we pick up on it?
This, like, we have to, like, is there a way, like, can I roll a figure someone out on Yana?
I do have that. Yana's a watcher, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can tell, like, when Yana, would you say, like, when you get that murderous twinkle in your eye, your friends can tell?
I think it's it would be pretty obvious to the two that have been around her the most that she hates what this guy is doing so much that in her head, the only way to prevent massive death is to kill him now before he can kill a bunch of innocent people.
Okay. Perhaps your friends could convince you. So the arm wrestling thing starts, but I think it creates such a what's the word? Commotion in this feasting tent that like your friends are able to kind of pull you aside and talk to you. There might be another way to do this than just straight up murdering this guy, because there is like you are in the middle of a heavily militarized army. So if you just kill him right there with like all these witnesses, it would be pretty hard to get out.
Yeah.
Just gonna whisper aside into Yana's
Yeah,
ear,
you're
like,
kind of whispering, like everyone's focused on the arm wrestling match right now.
Yana, whatever you're planning, it's a terrible idea. And I will not be a part of it.
Why is it a terrible idea? He's going to kill thousands of people.
Yes. But they're not our people. They're not people that we are currently, in charge of. Whatever your plan... Look, this is a war between the Winter Dominion and the Grand Sable Empire, not our problem right now.
Also,
If you kill him, none of us are leaving this place alive. And if we do, there'll be quite a few less of us.
you have said on many occasions that you do want to come back to your throne. How can you come back to a throne if you're dead?
I'll stay in my blade, but I will kill this man someday.
Sure, make him a sworn enemy, but not today.
So as you guys are kind of gathered together, Seamus, Stunk approaches you, and he's like, "You're with the bird, yes, the singer."
I wanted to try something out with Mr. Stunk here. Meet someone important. When you
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
someone important for the first time, roll with reputation for their faction, which I'm guessing is like denizens for.
Yeah, I can use denizens for this guy. He's a mercenary, so he's not really with the Grand Sable Empire.
Okay, so I think that's like
This is the first time I used a reputation move, I think.
first time. Yeah, I am
think
so
so,
close to +1 with the denizens, but I don't really know how to raise it though. Oh well. This is just going to be +0 straight roll. That's a 2. That's a 6. That's an 8. That is much better. Okay, so on a
Right.
7 to 9, pick 1.
You've heard
Ah.
stories?
They've heard something in your favor. Take +1 forward when you first try to play up your connection with them and their faction.
Okay, so Seamus, which one of your exploits has Colonel Stunk heard about? Like, what hot Seamus story was like, the top article in Mercenary Monthly that this guy was reading?
When Seamus was still in charge of his band and his band of raiders, the Green Watchers, we actually took over briefly a Grand Sable Empire fort. They didn't really know who we were because we kept covering our faces in green colors, but around word around the mercenary
World or community?
world, yeah, got around. It's like, oh crap, these guys are actually pretty up there.
Hmm.
I'm sure
Yeah, so
Seamus
he's-
heard something about the skunks too.
Yeah, so he's like, Seamus Opossum of the green. What was the Green Defenders?
I think it was the green. I know, I just said it, but I don't know
Yeah.
what it was. The Green Wardens, I
The
suppose.
Green Wardens. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, is that Seamus Opossum of the Green Wardens?
Is that Colonel Skunk of the Skunk Raiders?
The Stinking Companions. But yes.
Ah,
well
they changed their
spotted.
name.
Yeah, Skunk Raiders. I mean, Stinking Companions just seemed a little more fun, because like we're friendly with we're friends with each other.
Yeah.
We're
makes sense.
mercenaries, but we're also friends.
Well, what can I do you for?
You've got to help us get out of here. And
Yeah,
maybe like stop this horrible defeat from happening, but mostly help the Stinking Companions escape.
yeah, I got that. We're actually trying to avoid a catastrophe here ourselves.
Yeah. So here's what you can do. Now, there's a tent a little bit away from here where the log books are kept. You see, the Stinking Companions, we did sign a contract, and it's, one of our mercenaries, we can't break contracts. But in that tent, which maybe has some guards around it, or maybe some important people from the camp are there, if the logbook should go up in flames, then who's to say that we voided the contract? There's no record, right? then we just simply, there's no contract, it's gone, you can't pay us, and we leave. And also torching all the camp's records could help. I mean, this kind of not only are the records there, but there's lots of some of the camp funds, the treasure, to help pay for a lot of these soldiers. So if that was removed, some of the other mercenary groups wouldn't want to fight at all, and of course, it would stop Prince Rudolph from ever wanting to go forward, because now he has to solve this mystery, and it would ruin their attack. But you just have to get in there and burn our logbook. And if you want to help yourself to some of the treasure, well, all's fair in war, as they say.
Well, of course I'm helping myself to some of the treasure. Who do you think I am?
Oh, there's that Seamus I've heard of, yes.
But this one could actually help us all out. We don't have to get into a fight. A lot of innocent people will not get themselves killed due to a snobby little prince and his stupid plan. I'll run it by the rest of me mates. See how they do with this. But
I'll tell you this, if you can pull this off, the Stinking Companions will owe you a debt. One not in a logbook, a debt that you can call in that will be paid.
They're like that. Well, you got me convinced. Now it's up to me to convince me mates. Wish me luck, Colonel. And Seamus shakes his hand.
Yeah, so you slip back. Meanwhile, the arm wrestling between Colonel Geza, or Sergeant, I just bumped him up. Sergeant Geza and Prince Rudolph is going on. Rudolph is just winning again and again. Geza's
there can be some struggle, but yeah.
Yeah, Geza's doing his best, but he's not an actor. He's Prince, so strong. You beat me again. Wow, rematch. Oh, another victory for you. Wow.
How incredibly amazing this wrestling contest is going. In my homeland, we do celebrate this with a very strong sort of alcohol, which you seem to be... if you're so easily defeating this wolf, and he can drink a whole bottle of this, and I'm marking depletion to pull out vodka.
Yes.
Oh, man. Rudolph's ooh, yes.
I think you could easily go shot for shot.
Oh, yeah, Rudolph's definitely throwing down those shots.
There's no way Sergeant Geza can't pound back this alcohol.
Oh, for sure. So while this is going on, everyone's focused on the drinking contest now, and Seamus rejoins you guys.
And Yana will say to Seamus, look, whatever plan you're having, go ahead and execute it. I'll stay here and distract the prince. I promise I'm not going to murder him.
All right.
Unless he dies of alcohol poisoning, because...
Do you need anyone specific?
Different story, though.
You need anyone specific here for it?
If he dies of alcohol poisoning, then he can't really blame us for that, can he?
People drink themselves to death all the time.
Of course.
But whatever it is you're planning, plan it. Do it. I will stay here.
I need
so that there's no suspicion. Honestly, he doesn't even pay attention to the rest of you.
The typical noble. No offense.
None taken.
But I do need someone who's...
Wait, is Kiva a noble?
No. Far from it. She just thought it'd be fun to say it.
Yeah. Oh, you might be wrong about that, lass, since you are a captain of a ship now.
That's not really an ability.
That's true.
But
Most ship captains are free agents anyways. but if you need a distraction for your plan, I could probably come up with something.
If you need something torched
on fire, which yes. I really do need. So
I have several plans. As I sort of try to slink away and out, I'm going to pull out my hood and don it.
Yeah. And Yana steps a little ways away from your group before she goes, the brave and noble prince pounding back like a true king of men.
All right.
And she picks up one of the blue pastries and takes a bite out of it.
All right. So as you're gnawing on that, what is Kiva doing?
Kiva is going to go to the the wagon that has all the lantern oil on it, and snag take a lantern, fill it up. I'm trying to find one that has a hood on it too, so I can put the hood over it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna light it, put the hood down, and then take it with me and hide in the shadows for Seamus's whenever Seamus gives me the signal. Which, honestly, we never really talked about what the signal is, but probably a bird call.
Yeah,
you'll know
I'll
when you
just-
see it.
I'll just note that Yana's distraction was so that you could talk about whatever your plan is, and Seamus could share all that information.
Totally.
I do want to slip Yana one of the Flammarian fire vials. Do with it what you will.
And Finn, if you could play a song for the prince, basically playing up his ego and everything, keep him nice and distracted while he rings in all the adoration and doesn't smell the smoke that's coming away.
Oh, I was thinking of using a performance to distract the guards, because I believe there were a few guards at that tent that has the
Logbook.
the log.
I like
yes.
that.
Yeah, and the
I
treasury.
do like that, distracting the guards. We
Yeah,
gotta make this all
basically,
look like
yeah.
an accident anyways.
Yeah. I have All Eyes on Me, which is basically with by creating a distraction, I'm giving you guys a +1 ongoing to sneak, hide, pickpocket, and trust fate.
Nice.
So
All right, so Finn, you rush over to these guards. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do the all eyes on me move. So roll with
Yes.
charm.
which
I wonder
dice?
if there's a
Try
way to
this out.
poison the prince with all these drinks Yana's giving him, though.
I think poison.
You guys just talked Yana out of murdering him.
That's my problem. Like, hold on.
I was like, wait a minute.
We're not gonna kill
Wait
these
a
two.
minute.
Really
We're
hate
talking
this
about killing
prince.
this dude. What the fuck?
Wait a
Like
minute, yeah.
there's some true. The prince is a dithering fool, but I got the bloody baron, but the prince is the one you got. Prince Rudolph is apparently
Wait,
apparently,
worst.
Michael, she's
I mean-
wanted to kill literally every asshole that you've put in front of her.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest.
Literally.
There's someone in that tent who is already planning on killing this son of a bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I
Yeah.
feel like they're going to
Right.
get out to the battlefield, like 7 people are going to kill him, and they're just going to head back.
So real Edward II shit.
What
So-
happened to the prince? Straight fire. We didn't see it at all. Ah, well.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's go back.
Yes. So,
Shot by a cannon.
yeah. So my roll for All Eyes on Me is actually a 10. So on a 10,
Nice.
on 10 plus, I hold 1, and I can spend the hold to grant an ally a +3 for one of the aforementioned rolls instead. So
Ooh. Okay. Cool. All right. So you're playing this tune. The guards are totally into it. Yeah, they're listening along there. Totally distracted. Seamus, you can slip into the treasury tent.
Okay. I'm gonna do what I do best. Loot and plunder.
Yeah.
So-
Go ahead and roll loot
Wrong with
plunder.
finesse.
yes.
That's a 1.
Oh no,
That's a 2.
3.
Ooh. That's not
Okay.
good. I got a 5. But
all right.
there's
I
a way
can.
to make
I
this a
will
7.
spend my hold to add a +3 to that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, plus 3 to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's
From
an
a
8.
3 to what was it? From a 5 to a 7. Wow.
I believe 5 to an 8.
5 to an 8.
5 to an 8. Wow. So Seamus, what's the result there for a
I
7
just
and 9?
choose 1 instead of all 3. Okay.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is of special value to a particular faction. Plus 4 prestige if traded to them. Now this is the Grand Sable Empire, but maybe they looted something that belonged to the denizens at one point.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Well, first of all, you do find the logbooks.
Okay.
I will say with that roll, you find I'm going to say 6. There's 2 for each of you, 6 value. So that's gold. Grand Sable marks is the currency they use. But yeah, so everybody gets 2 value from Luton. And you also find a Blessed Beast's icon, which is, and that's IKON. It's a religious symbol. It's like a little statue of one of the Blessed Beasts. I'm going to say it's Saint Nicodemus, which is like the winter. The Winterborn, they do worship the saints, the Blessed Beast too, but maybe in slightly different ways. But this one, Saint Nicodemus is like he's the one he brings the presents on Winter Night. He like battled, sort of the frost demons, and so he's like kind of the blessed beast behind some defensive stuff, but also like giving gifts. So highly venerated. And this is like a particular valuable religious artifact. So
The bastard stole this from some poor temple. Well, reclaiming it. Since Seamus got the logbook and everything, is that everything?
yeah, you were asked to like destroy the logbook.
Can I have sneaked in at this point with the lantern?
Oh, totally.
All right, that's everything. Keep
So
up.
I'm gonna open the hood away from what I know Finn is dealing with the guards, so it's illuminating sort of the back of the tent, so he can burn the documents first before we set the place ablaze. Make sure those are gone before we start some shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for that. It's pretty simple to just pour the oil down, toss a light, they go up.
All right, let's make tracks.
All right, you guys head out. Kiva, let's roll for your making these distractions, these explosives.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna wreck something. Plain and simple.
Go for it.
Since I'm wearing my mask, I also get a +1 to this, and I'm rolling with luck, which I needed for an 8.
Ooh. Okay, so yeah, you're going to attract attention, which is sort of what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
are
you're gonna see the crow mask, though. I mean, that's
Yeah, are you blowing up the magazine?
no, just setting fire to the records place.
Right,
And
okay.
if on the way, if I can hit the wagon as well, with all the other lantern oil, sure, why not?
Yeah, I want to say you rolled pretty well, so that does help cover your escape. But the escape is definitely noticed. Like,
Oh yeah.
the tent bursts into flames as you guys are dashing back towards the docks. Like, fires cutting out through the night. You see guards like poking their heads out, realizing what's going on. Prince Rudolph is like not noticing what's going on, but when the fire starts happening, Miklos lets up this like big sniff, and he starts like giving orders, and then he kind of like looks towards you, Yana, very questioningly. And
Sure. Yana's currently sitting on the prince's lap, like giggling and acting drunker than she is.
yeah, the prince is like he's in vodka land now. He's not really knowing what's going on.
So brave and strong he is, huh?
Ooh.
Between you and I, Prince, I never have really fought in a battle, I'm just a girl.
Yeah, just more drunken laughter.
Will you be there to protect me tomorrow out on the battlefield?
Oh, yes, on the field of glory. Is someone burned the roast?
Well, then you should go to the
because
kitchen and reprimand them right now if they've burnt the roast.
I should do
roast.
that, yes. Miklos goes over and like grabs him and kind of shoves him, pulls him back. Is kind of like looking at you. Sergeant Gaza and the wolves are on their feet. And Miklos is like, I think this is your doing. And maybe now I can finally get to do what I wanted from the moment I saw you.
Oh, and what would that be? She suddenly just drops the bimbo routine.
Why? It's what I want to do to most people I meet. Hack them into bloody bits.
Well, then, you and I are on the same page. Okay. I don't feel like she's got an option but to engage in this fight, right?
Yeah. Gaza's like, Sergeant Gaza, the 10th.
You don't mind if I defend
Yana,
my honor,
you need to
do you,
go.
Princey baby?
He and the other courtiers are starting to like, I mean, he still thinks everything's a fun game, but the other courtiers are starting to like drag him out, realizing that something bad's going on here. All right, Yana, give me an engage in melee. But Sergeant Gaza's like, Yana, we need to go. It's time.
Understand. She's going to do a quick engage in melee. on this dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, shit. That's not great. Yeah, she gets stabbed.
Oh no, how'd you do?
What was the total?
I only rolled a 5.
Yikes.
Could
Can I-
Seamus's plans help?
Can I spend 2 hold, or can I just only spend like 1 hold at a time?
Let me check the move real quick just to be sure, but I don't see why you couldn't spend 2. Let me go.
Yeah,
to
it
the
doesn't
Raider
really
page.
say.
This would plug into the plan.
Yeah. And also, good thing you have a explosive device on your person. You can just yeet.
Oh, that is true.
I mean, the
Okay.
heating's coming soon.
The Raider.
Yeah.
is Raider.
Kiva approves.
There we go. So the move is plan of attack.
Yep.
You can spend your hold 1 for 1, regardless of distance. I think it is only going to be 1.
Eh,
It says it's.
There's no reason to spend it then. She just failed.
Yeah, it does say 1 for 1.
Sorry.
I'm afraid.
I tried.
I don't know what it means when you fail in an engage a melee.
It means you just take damage without getting any of the benefits.
Okay, so she just takes a harm? Or-
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll go to the armor.
Yeah, he is like this nasty spiked mace that kind of looks like a snarling, animal muzzle, and he just like swings it into you and crashes you into the wagon. Actually, Sergeant Gaza is gonna he grabs his halberd and like jabs out and does stabs it into Miklos's armor, and he's like, "Yana, run!"
I will not abandon you, Geza.
I'll go with you.
Then we'll run together, and then she'll throw the alchemist fire.
Nice. Okay, give me Alchemist Fire. Definitely going to hit and do damage anyway. Well, unless you totally beef this roll, but give me a target someone.
Sure. I mean, yeah, unless I totally beef this roll, which
Yeah.
I did not totally beef the roll. That's an 8.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you how do you where are you throwing this thing? Like just straight at Miklos or like into the room?
Fuck this dude. She throws it straight at Mikolos.
Totally. All right, so it smashes on his breastplate. Fire just races up. It wasn't like, a headshot, so he's still alive, but he is inflamed. He's gonna be able to put himself out, by just rolling around on the ground, but he'll be burned for sure. And with that, yeah, you guys dash
Sometimes we do
outside.
not fight with honor, as I said, Sergeant. We should run now.
Gaza's like a good plan, Yana. And should he call you Yana or should he call you my lady? I've been calling you. I'm having him address you by your first name, which might not be decorum. What do you think?
He's been calling her Yana thus far, and if he wants to suddenly switch to my lady at this point, he may. But
Okay, I don't know. I mean, you kind of you met in a bar, so
yeah.
I think maybe it's even more respectful for these guys to call you instead of by the fake politeness of the title.
Yeah, it lets like they're including her as one of the fighters. I think that would be
Yeah.
actually an honor for them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so they you dash over, you go to the boat, you see Polina, Aisling O'Mara over there on the railing, beckoning you guys over as you start dashing back. You guys hop on it's night, so it's good to go. But you do see the crossbow beasts, archers coming from the camp as you start getting into the ship to start sailing away.
Is that chain still across the water?
Yeah, it is mounted on the other side, so you got to find somebody to take that down as you sail.
I could take down the chain.
All right, Seamus.
If anyone else doesn't mind.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
I'll stick by Seamus list since we're already together. I'll have a jar of alchemist fire to on hand in case you need to make a quick escape.
Right. Someone
Yana's
does need
going to
to-
go ahead and pilot the ship then.
Yeah.
Because ship piloting can also be finessed, right?
Yes,
Correct.
Vanessa Luck.
Vanessa Luck.
Then she's piloting the ship.
All right, awesome.
Right. Seamus is going to take out Raph, which I believe gives him a +1 to wreck something.
Does yes, it's an extra wreckable, or it's like a wrecking axe.
All right. We're going to check. Well, we're going to use this on the chain itself.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll for wreck something.
That's another one. And that's better. That's a 5. So 6 + 4 this time is a 10.
Nice. Seamus, you just or actually, you bring the axe up. How do you destroy this chain?
All right. Seamus is just going to get a good look at it, and as soon as a bit of the boat passes under, Near the chain, Seamus is going to jump up and bring the axe down on the chain with his full force.
Oh, amazing. Yeah,
This
the chain
might
just like
actually leave a dent in the boat itself, but not enough to any permanent damage. I'll pay it off.
It's a big boat. This is a deep part of the river. Yeah, the chain goes down, just like whistles its way across the river banks and the river there. Projectiles will come at you guys. All right, so Kiva, give me a sail the vessel move.
Well, I think it was Yana's doing the sail of the vessel.
Oh,
I'm
Yana.
sailing
Yeah,
at this
my bad.
point. Yeah, because Kiva's doing some blowing stuff up at a distance, from what I know.
I'm hanging out with the Seamus to make sure that he's got this job done.
Yeah,
And I have my alchemist fire on hand in case you want to blow something up.
yeah. So it's Yana. Okay. I got an 8.
Ooh.
Can I mark 2 exhaustion to give her a 10? Because
sure.
we're friends.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You've got that thing with me.
Yep, and it's for you.
Awesome.
As I sort of look over, like, no, Yana, the other way, and make sure. And I'm just like,
Gotcha.
giving
I
commands from a
have not
distance.
piloted this boat before.
It's fine.
We are not seafaring people.
Yeah, you're like just working the wheel. Oh no, the other way.
Okay, no, I understand. It goes backwards from the way I think.
Yeah, and I'm also yelling, yelling commands to the crew to like make sure all the rigging's done correctly. Everything is like anchors up.
Yeah.
So just sort of like this back and forth, make sure everything's going correctly.
All right, and with that, yeah, the cog like sails its way through these outposts. Seamus, Kiva, you guys are able to like jump back on board the deck as it goes under. Finn, you got on board?
Yeah, and if we were being followed at any point, I would have thrown out some of the caltrops that I had to sort of slow them down.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say some of like Miklos' hussars are chasing after you guys and their war boars, but you like hurl down a fistful of these cantrips. I don't know if I'm gonna make you roll for it because it seems pretty like there's no real way to miss with the caltrops there.
It has the deployable trap, which is I mark
Yeah.
where to deploy. It's +1 harm, +1 exhaustion, and it slows them. And slows
Yeah,
them
so they just like their hooves go over it. Like Miklos, looking scorched, is riding this huge boar at the front. But he goes over the caltrops. The boar crashes to the side. The other boars like smash into it, and yeah, they are stopped. And with that, you're able to make it onto the cog, start sailing its way down the river. So you sail on for a little while. You're passing by the woods. You're leaving the camp behind. When then you see something else. From the mist, some unlikely arrivals appear. A trio of barges laden with otters. These otters, clad in ragged waterlogged jerkins, the occasional sparkling bit of jewelry, and wild ribbons and silks, send out a hail and a hurrah and wave their paws at you. Then a single figure stands tall amongst the otters. A crook-backed. She's standing tall even though she's crook-backed. Well, okay. A crook-backed. That's some Michael contradictory writing there. A crook-backed ancient otter crone with an eye patch tight on her fur. Ye are not my children. Mother Meyer, the pirate queen, offers a welcoming paw. You are safe amongst the river reavers, as long as you're willing to make a deal. And with that deal of the river reavers, we're going to see you next week for the conclusion of this river-based nautical arc. Arc number 2 of Dark Force will be finished next week in an episode entitled Pirate's Pride. Yana?
Are there just 2 things I could do really quickly before we do the wrap up?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Number 1, she's doing the repairs on her chainmail because she can, but she also wanted to address Kiva really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Kiva's currently wearing her mask, but if she is, Giannis will say, like, would you mind taking the mask off?
Oh, of course. Sorry. She pulls it off and stuffs it partially back into the bag.
Okay. I'm going to do a thing that I've seen, like, for reals Russian people do.
Okay.
So she like takes Kiva kind of by the back of the head and puts her own forehead against Kiva's forehead and says, "You saved my life 3 times today. I am honored to be your friend."
I'm honored to be yours as well, Yana. We may not be of the same social standards, but you are much like a sister to me, if I could say that.
You are a sister to me as well.
I only care that you live to be back on that throne and do the good work.
I will try my best to be a good ruler, but I will need somebody like you around to keep me from drowning in my own bloodlust.
Well, I can't say like, I'll keep you from drowning, but I'll make sure that you swim okay.
It's appreciated, my friend.
I'm kind of an enabler, aren't I? Did you use the fire?
I did see the fires. It was beautiful.
So
Sorry, I just wanted to have that little moment.
Oh,
give you a squeeze on the
beautiful.
shoulder.
Brilliant, brilliant. I love it. All right. So yeah, let's talk about advancements. We'll kind of go the opposite the way of the introductions. Seamus, were you able to fulfill any of your drives?
All right. Chaos. Advance when you topple a tyrannical or dangerously overbearing figure or order. Got 2 candidates. The pirates that
Yeah.
we fought, and also the prince that we just set fire to his entire encampment.
So yes, I would say definitely, yeah, you take the advancement for that one.
And also greed. Advance when you secure a serious payday or treasure. That icon that we got.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, that would count. I think you can only advance once though, but I think either of those would count.
I think we said it was like,
We've
It's
been
once per
doing
drive.
twice.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, you can go ahead and do the twice.
yeah, you can only do it once per drive.
Right, that's what. Okay.
Yeah, like we couldn't double up on chaos, even though.
Yeah, you toppled 2 tyrannical rulers.
That you only get one.
Yeah. Go ahead and do the both then. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Gotcha. That should
Um,
count as chaos for anyone else who has it.
yes. Yana.
Yeah, obviously one of our drives is chaos. I believe Kiva also has chaos, so
Yeah, so we'll go for them.
yeah. But her other thing is revenge, which is name your foe, advance when you cause significant harm to them or their interests. She did declare the princess as a foe today, so I don't know if that counts. I mean, I just kind of said
Okay.
it. I wasn't
Sure.
really thinking about the drive, but then I'm like, yeah, she did just declare this guy as I'm going to kill him. So
Right.
Pretty
No, I
in
love how
character.
you have like multiple foes. So yeah, you can go ahead.
okay, yeah, now it's the prince, the baron, and her aunt. So she's just she's got a bit of a kill list going.
Wow, just racking up. Yeah, the hit list.
Hmm.
All right. How about Finn?
Well, I'm the one character that does not have chaos as one of his drives. He might not actually advance for this one. I mean, the one that I don't think I've ever advanced from this drive, which is Discovery, which is advance when you encounter any wonder or ruin in the forest.
Oh, you should have advanced for because you went to. I mean, Flotsam Ford was kind of like was a new place, right? So
Okay, I mean, if you think that's a new wonder or ruin, then sure.
oh, all right. Well, what's the other drive you have?
The other one is Thrills. Advance when you escape from certain death or incarceration.
Okay, well, definitely mark that one.
Okay.
I mean, I think there will be like wonders and stuff, especially in the arc that's after this one.
Would the skunk mercenaries count as a wonder?
I don't know, not really.
Uh,
I don't know, Finn. I think you might just get the one this time.
That's fine.
Crazy
One is fine.
wonders are coming up in the next one. Okay, and then how about Kiva?
Kiva has chaos. We
So, yeah, I get that one
we
for
definitely
sure.
toppled. We destroyed the guy's, this prince's power base by getting rid of all his mercenaries and then robbing him blind.
Yeah, always good.
And then the other one is thrills, so escape from certain death or
you get that one
incarceration.
too.
Yeah, we some damage.
Most of us have some really overlapping goals, Michael.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Hey, it's the
Overlapping
whenever we do
drives,
all
yeah.
advances, so it's all good.
That's 2 advances for
right.
me.
So I think that brings it to the official end of this game, and more Dark Forest coming next time. The conclusion to arc number 2. Pirates Pride. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So thanks, guys. Thanks for doing this. We have one more for this, and then we have another arc coming. Do stay tuned. We're going to go throughout the rest of this year. From what I understand, we're going to go through probably into December with this series. So stay tuned for it because there's some prizes coming your way during this and even after it. I know Michael was talking about maybe some guest game masters. Oh,
I hope so.
That's what we're hoping for. Some people that you've seen before but have never seen them in that chair. So let's enjoy the moment and come back next week for the last of this arc. But until we get to that point, make sure to pull up a chair and make
time to tabletop.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.
Good night, everybody. Beware, pirate.